There was a beautiful line uttered by Pa Ranjit in the round table of the Hollywood Reporter India conducted by Anupama Chopra. In that, he said that, one of the reasons why films from the South, particularly, I think he was talking about the Tamil film industry, really works wonders is because when a star like Rajinikanth, he approaches a director like Nelson, or in this case like TJ Gnanaval, then it is because he wants to star in a TJ Gnanaval film and not the other way around. It is not that he wants them to make a Rajinikanth film, which was such a beautiful thought and something that I strongly felt about this film also. Hi guys, this is Farhad and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. If you're new to this channel, then please smash that subscribe button now and remember to like and comment on the video. Liking and commenting helps fuel the YouTube algorithm. And with that, the film that we are going to be talking about today is the new Tamil film called Vettaiyan, which is starring Rajinikanth, Amitabh Bachchan, hold your breath, Farhad Fazil and Rana Daggubati. So this had a huge ensemble that actually caught my attention right from the word go. Besides it being my yearly dose of Rajinikanth film that is there. And one of the reasons, that I like this film was because it, at the end of the day, it was still a TJ Gnanaval film, TJ Gnanaval film, I would say. TJ Gnanaval, as you know, is the director of Jai Bhim. I had absolutely loved that film. I may not have liked this film as much as that film, but there is lots to like here in the in the wake of the commercial cinema that he presented this film with. So coming to the story and screenplay, Vettaiyan is essentially a story of an encounter cop, an encounter specialist that is there, who gets entangled in a chain of events leading to him trying to prove the innocence of a little boy that is there. Now, the story here immediately, it offers diabolically opposite characters to begin with. At the very beginning, you see the character of Amitabh Bachchan addressing a room with his anti-encounter sentiments that is there. Cut to the very next shot in which you're introduced with the character of Farhad Fazil, and he says that there are four kinds of cops that is there, with Rajinikanth following in the fourth category. And when you see the character of Rajinikanth, he's a ruthless cop. He does not actually have any qualms about encountering anybody. He just goes around and encounters people without almost like an impulsive knack, so to say. So I think that was the start of the character. Now, what an interesting thing that the writers do here is that yes, there is fan service here as well, but there's also an issue here. Now, when it comes to the fan service, the first act that is there, it's almost like the writer director saying, okay, here you go, this is your your moment, so to say, for the Rajni fans, the fan service that you are tuning into this film. So let me give you a dance number that is there. It's not an item number, it's a dance number. But at the same time, in the first act, the writing is such that it actually establishes the characters along the way as well. The character traits of the characters are nicely established before, having to, get into that issue that is there. That issue that its start of that issue takes place at the end of the first act, going into the second act that is there. And that actually sets the ball in motion for a police procedural drama that is there. So this might seem like it is a mass masala entertainer with a lot of masala in it, but it is actually a police procedural, and understated police procedural that is there. At its core, it's exactly that, and it unfolds in a dual manner. Why do I say dual? Because one is the trajectory of the protagonist, starting from of being an encounter specialist, an encounter cop, having to dwell with his morality of sorts. And you'll see that in the film. Why I say that? To the expose of a bigger scam that is there, that takes place later on in the film. Now, I like the interval point as well. It's not as if you did not see that coming, or it was something difficult, but it is the dilemma that is created at the halfway mark that is quite nice. It also throws up questions in the first hour on whether the character of Rajinikanth is right or wrong when he's encountering criminals, or so to say, criminals from the lower strata of the society that is there. It's almost like a hierarchy that is formed between the lower strata to the higher strata. Now, the things, in the second hour, there's a slight dip, I would say. And why there is a dip? Because I would have wanted a little more emotional core to the drama. The emotional core was slightly missing. It could have been there probably with the character of Manju Warrior, who was just there and had nothing major to do. Another flaw in the writing was because the expose happened at a later stage, expose of the actual issue that is there happened a bit halfway in the second hour that is there. So it did not have enough time to establish the main antagonist that is there in this case. And if you've not watched it, I'll keep it under wraps. But the main antagonist here is just about a cardboard copy. It's not fleshed out the way it should have, which is why the final act that is there, it seems abrupt. Had there been a characteristic about that antagonist that is there, it would have led to a showdown between the protagonist and the antagonist, which kind of felt abrupt. You did not feel that knockout emotion that was there right at the end. So in that space, the second hour suffers a little, I would say. There's also a little emotional angle that is included. I mean, come to think of it, it seemed a little forced, because with or without that, it did not really matter. The end did not matter. The stakes were already set in the drama. And that twist also happened a little too late in the drama. So these were little flaws. But having said that, it's still a great attempt because of the story that the director wanted to tell, and wanted to tell in a way so that he would also have to satisfy some of the fans of Rajinikanth, who were just there for the fan service. So it was the right kind of balance, I would say. I wouldn't say a perfect balance, but it was the good balance between class and mass that is there here. So that was about the screenplay. Coming to the technical aspects, dialogues, music, and the direction, I think in this balance of class and mass, the one aspect of the drama that took a beating was the dialogues. I think the dialogues weren't massy, but they weren't exactly classy. They were somewhere in between, which reflected on the conflict that the writers may have had on how to balance the drama. The balance that was there, it felt a little, on the fence. So that's why the lines were also a little, mediocre, I would say. I wouldn't say mediocre, but didn't really strike the balance between class and mass. I think Anirudh is the true MVP of the Tamil film industry, because he understands the world so well. He understands the universe that the drama is set in, and he plugs in with such catchy numbers, such beautiful background music that it's almost pulsating, and you're anticipating the movement, the slow-mos that is there, even as the music reaches a crescendo with respect to the actions of the characters that is there. And here I think he did a tremendous job, amazing job that he did here. I think even the cinematography was pretty good, editing was crisp and sharp. I think director TJ Gyanaval, I think he did a good job here. Although I liked his earlier work more, I liked Jai Bhim more. I think it was more realistic. But this, I think it was still a good attempt, because it was, at the end of the day, it was still his film. It was, I wouldn't say it was Rajinikanth's film, because the aura of the superstar did not dominate the story in any way. And I think that was the victory of the director here. Coming to the performances, I felt the performances are pretty good here. Although the characterization, it doesn't really, complete the circle, so to say. I mean, the fast cuts and editing do take the story forward, but in somewhere the characterization was a little bit of a miss. For instance, the character of Manju Warrior, I think she had nothing to do. Similarly, Rana Daggubati, one-tone character, good performance, but nothing really to do. I think Ritika Singh, she did very well. Kishore did excellent as well. I think the film was about the three, protagonists that was there. One was Mr. Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan, and I think when you take Mr. Bachchan, he's always a towering persona, and here also he uses his baritone so well, particularly that scene at the end wherein the monologue wasn't on your nose. It may not have been half as impactful if he wasn't there in that scene. So I think he did a wonderful job here. I think Fahad Fazil is a breath of fresh air. I will actually pay to watch any of Fahad's films that is there going forward because of the kind of energy that he brings to his character. I mean, to come to think of it, this could have so easily been just a sidekick character to make you laugh, but it is the prowess of Fahad Fazil, the actor, and his acting chops that he actually raises the bar and probably became my favorite character in the film. And I'm not just saying it because I may have majority Malayalam audience. It's not the case. You know, I speak the truth. I do not intend to please anybody in particular, but Fahad was excellent in this character. Even in that little emotional scene in the second half that was there, which by the way came out of nowhere, I think he really killed it in that performance. And Rajini sir being Rajini sir, he's absolutely brilliant as usual, but it was also a victory of the superstar in surrendering to the vision of the director. Yes, there was fan service at the start, at the end, but in between there were no sequences or nothing that felt out of order. It felt like a sore thumb. Nothing of that sort was there. The swagger was definitely there, and I think he put his best foot forward, literally and figuratively speaking. I think he was wonderful to witness. Always a privilege watching a Rajini sir's film, always. So overall, I felt that Vettaiyan, I think, which basically means the hunter, I think it's a good watch for me. It may not be the best watch, I would say, but it's still a very good watch. It's almost like a police procedural drama presented in a mass masala entertainer. I think it was a good watch at the end of the day. I really liked it. The performances really killed it. The screenplay could have been a little better, but I mean, that's okay. It's still entertaining at the end of the day, and the message that it conveyed was also important. So I quite liked the film. It wasn't that I loved the film, I quite liked the film. So if you're liking this video, please smash that like button, comment on the video and let me know what did you make of it. If there are any recommendations, throw me some. I have a few videos lined up, so recommendations may take a little more time. But other than that, you can also share this video with your friends and family. Ask them to subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this Digi family together. My full review of Vettaiyan is present on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, the link of which is in the description box below. Also follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I do write a lot. All information is present on my site and on my social media handles. I'll see you again soon with another video. Till then, take care of yourselves and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.